What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video, we're going to be diving into a tier list for you all for the Community Day Pokemon and their rankings of what is going to be the Pokemon you should be getting, like your priority list, right? Your hit list of what you need to be getting this Community Day, as there's going to be a lot, because December Community Day is going to be Saturday the 16th and the 17th, 2 to 5 p.m. your local time. There's going to be a lot of bonuses as well that you guys can take a look at. It's like double everything. But basically, there is a lot of Pokemon that you guys can get access to with their Community Day moves, or just get more candy for them, etc. So I want to break this down for you all of what you should be prioritizing based on its strength in Go Battle League. There's obviously some use cases for PvE, but that is not something I'm judging this on. So you can take that into account for yourself. This is more a strictly PvP centered tier list. So let me know if you guys think I was right in placing these Pokemon, if I was wrong, or where do you guys think some of these Pokemon should land. Let's get right into it. All right, first up is going to be Clodsire. Clodsire, I'm going to go ahead and put it strong. Clodsire is a Pokemon that was very hyped up when it was coming to Pokemon Go, and then very frustrated when the moveset that it got wasn't the one that the community was hoping for, as it was supposed to be the chosen one, right? But Clodsire is still incredibly powerful. It's very tanky. It's as thick as an XL Azumarill, and this is more of a Great League Pokemon. This is not something you want to be using in Ultra League. This is specifically Great League, and unfortunately, it is a Pokemon that you don't want to be using Community Day moves. That could be unfortunate or fortunate depending on your circumstances, but you want to have Sludge Bomb and Earthquake as its charge moves in almost all situations. And the Community Day move of Mega Horn is typically not used. So this is an opportunity for you to get the evolution, get some candy, get a better IV, what have you, if you missed out on the Community Day. So strong, definitely worth getting. Next up is going to be Ursaluna. This is a Master League Pokemon. I'm going to put it at strong because a lot of people love Ursaluna in the Master League. I myself don't play there just because of the costs and what have you. But a lot of people love Ursaluna. So if you want to build one for Master League, by all means, try to hunt down the 100% IV and build it for that. But it is not a Pokemon I would recommend at this time to use in the Great League and Ultra League. Next up is going to be Obstagoon. This is going to be another strong Pokemon, a very good contender for the Open Ultra League, and can do pretty well in the Great League as well, especially in specialty cups, because Metachams have been everywhere, right? And now Poliwraths are really starting to get popular, and having a big weakness to counter the fighting type fast move is what really sets it back. But ultimately, it can still do incredibly well in metas where there's a lot of Psychic and Ghost type Pokemon, which is why Ultra League, it really shines there. And this is a Pokemon that you want to get. Now, the moveset typically is Cross Chop and Night Slash, but you could add on that Community Day move if you want to. Beware. Oh, I hyped this Pokemon up when it came out for Community Day because I really wanted to believe in Draining Punch. I wanted to believe that was possible, but ultimately it fell flat. It really didn't have what it takes to be strong or meta, or even it can work. It's really a struggle. So Beware, unfortunately, is going to go there. So this is one of those Pokemon that, maybe not worry too much about it. All right, Noivern. I mean, Noivern, no one's going to touch it right now. No one's going to use it. Boom Burst didn't do anything for it. Unfortunately, it needs updates. It needs move updates to be more viable. If you're going to be a flyer, if you're going to be an anti-fighter, you need to have something to fight back against the steals, which are very common. That's why we see Charizard being pretty strong with Blast Burn. That's why we see Gligar being strong with Dig. Skarmory is an anomaly, right, because it has Flash Cannon, Sky Attack, and Brave Bird. But ultimately, its typing makes it very, very good to have a lot of resistances, and that's why. All right, next up, Greninja. First meta pick here. It comes as no surprise. A lot of us, most of you probably already have your Greninjas. You're happy with your Greninjas. You had a lot of fun with them. Getting access to the new fast move of Water Shuriken and also getting the charge move of Hydro Cannon with the coverage moves of Night Slash and Aerial Ace made it extremely meta. and made it very fun in the Ultra League and Great League. Even in a meta where there's lots of Lanturns and Superiors and Metachams, Greninja does very well when it's hidden in the back and you bait out its strongest counter and then you sweep with it. That's the whole formula behind a Greninja, and that's why it is it's meta. It can sweep teams, absolutely sweep teams. All right, next up we have Delphox. This is gonna be, it's meh. I mean, there's a lot of better options out there for fires in both Great League and Ultra League, and it's almost at the point where it needs more updates, but I'm not going to say that because it can still do well in some specialty cups, depending, right? So Delphox, not a starter that you really want to be grinding for unless you're missing it, right, on your roster. Then obviously get it just in case. But yeah, Delphox, it's meh. Chestnut, we're going to go ahead and go. It can work. Chestnut, it's kind of like one of those Pokemon where it's always been there, it's always been decent, but unfortunately the fighting grass combination made it extremely weak in a meta that always has flyers. So it can work. Superpower is very strong, Frenzy Plant is very strong. If you want to be a little bit cheeky about it, you can run with that Smackdown fast move, which I have done in the Ultra League before, and make Charizard swap in. That is absolutely hilarious, so it can work. Next up, we have Hydreigon. It can work. I think a lot of people might think that there's better options if you're going to run a Dragon in the Master League. This is not used in the Great League or Ultra League, but it can work in some situations. Nothing too crazy going on there. It's just, it can work. All right, Haxorus. Haxorus is strong, and unfortunately with the Breaking Swipe nerf, it's more like it can work now. But I won't do that. It'll be at the bottom list of it's strong, because it has a really solid move set, and it can take people by surprise in specialty cups in the Great League. It can take people by surprise in the Ultra League, and obviously Master League if Premier Cup ever comes back. It is top tier meta for that because of its coverage that it has. So it's strong, I would say, and it's like it's strong, and also it can work. We'll put it here though. All right, Chandelure. And Adequance is gonna, let's see, we'll put it down here. In Adequance, your Chandelure needs updates, buddy. No, it can work. I think it's like it's strong in the right hands. In Adequance, it's strong in the right hands, but for most it can work. And I think the moveset, it getting Poltergeist, it's already got Shadow Ball, so I'm not sure if you really want to be running the Poltergeist there. Maybe in Ultra League you want to, or maybe if you're doing something spicy in Master League. But Shadow Ball in the Great League is enough, let's be honest. So it can work. It's definitely a spicy Pokemon. A lot of fire ghosts out there competing for the top spot. We got Skeledirge, Alolan Marowak, Chandelure. Alolan Marowak's the GOAT, so that would be meta right there. But anyways, I think it can work. If you guys haven't gotten yourself a Chandelure yet, could be a good time. And now we're going to see Conkeldurr here. Conkeldurr is going to be another it can work. All of this is dependent on if Premier Cup comes back, right? Master League Premier Cup. We haven't seen it in a while. It's a meta that a lot of people love, and Pokemon like Haxorus, Pokemon like Conkeldurr shine there. It doesn't do that well in the Great League. There's way better fighter options, I should say. In Ultra League, there's better fighter options, even though it has Brutal Swing now for the Ghost and Psychic. There's an Icy Wind Poliwrath. So, yeah, it can work. All right, next up we have Gigalith. It needs updates, right? Nothing to write home about. This is more of a PvE thing, PvP. It just needs updates. Doesn't have the best move pool, and ultimately no one really runs that. All right, next up we have Mamoswine. This is this is one of those ones that's going to be down here with Haxorus where it can be strong, and the only reason why it's up here for it can be strong is because of Master League. There is some good play that it can have there. It can be very spicy in the Ultra League. In the Great League, I would not recommend that. If you're gonna run this family in the Great League, go for Pillow Swine, and even then, you're rocking with some spice. But I'll put it as strong because of Master League, because of Premier Cup. This is one of those Pokemon that you kind of want to have on your roster. Rating, also, it's really good there too. But ultimately, yeah, it's going to be strong for if Premier Cup comes back. All right, next up we have Togekiss. This is going to be another It Can Work. We'll put it over here. Getting access to Aura Sphere was a pretty cool update. But ultimately, it's similar coverage to Flamethrower, which it already had. And it is, again, one of those Pokemon where it's a Master League contender and a Master League Premier Cup meta Pokemon. So if Premier Cup was always here every season, a lot of these would be up here with meta because you want to have those on your roster. But since it's not and hasn't been in a while, we got to put it at strong and It Can Work. Tyranitar. We're going to put this at the top, near the top of It Can Work, and that's because of Great League Specialty Cups. A lot of you might have run a Shadow Tyranitar in something like the Halloween Cup in years past or other Specialty Cups. And it can work, right, in that meta. It's very strong. In the given situation, this is definitely a hyper-specific Specialty Cup Pokemon for the Great League. Ultra League, you're never really running it. Master League, I don't think you're running it at all. Raids, pretty good. But for Specialty Cups, it's one of those Pokemon where it's like you can have that ace up your sleeve for a fun set, fun couple sets, and that is a definite Pokemon that can work. All right, Walrein, we're putting it right up here at the top of strong. It's very strong. Always has been, probably always will be. It was hyper meta before the Icicle Spear nerf. Back in the day, it was the top of the top meta when it came out with its community day. But ever since then, there have been, after the nerf and different changes to the moves and updates over the seasons, it has kind of fallen down from grace, but it is still very strong, specifically in the Great League and the Ultra League. Ultra League, I think it's stronger now that Steelix is out of the meta with that Breaking Swipe nerf. Because it used to be guaranteed, now it is not. So Walrein definitely can rise up from that to help give extra coverage to something like a Giratina Altered while having the Earthquake for steals. Very strong. Definitely a Pokemon you want to have. Next up, we got Quagsire. We're going to go ahead and put that up here next to Clodsire because Quagsire is very strong. Actually, it's gotten multiple updates as of late, getting access to the move Mud Bomb, and then Mud Bomb getting an update in terms of its damage, and then it also got access to Aqua Tail. Now, your moveset is going to be dependent on the team that you are running and the meta that you're playing in, so this is going to be one of those Pokemon similar to a Hypno, if you guys have those, where you're going to want to have multiple, because you're not going to want to use TMs all the time in order to change it. For those of you who aren't aware, maybe haven't used that many charge TMs or haven't gotten low, TMs are very valuable because it takes a long time or multiple attempts to try to get the move that you're looking for, especially with Pokemon who have multiple movesets, and Quagsire is now there. We got what? Earthquake, Mud Bomb, Stone Edge, Acid Spray, Sludge Bomb, Aqua Tail. So 6. And you're wanting to change back and forth, maybe Aqua Tail for this Specialty Cup this week and then Stone Edge next week, it's better to have multiple Quagsires with all decent IVs ready to go. All right, next up we have Jumpluff. This is going to be another one of those Pokemon where it can work. When it came out before, I want to say this was before Noctowl got the update with Wing Attack and Shadow Ball, Jumpluff was actually pretty decent. With its moveset and everything, it's kind of like a Tropius, but with better energy gain there. It was good back in the day. Now it's not as good. So it's a Pokemon that it's going to be a Specialty Cup kind of Pokemon. This is going to be specifically for Great League as well. So definitely not on the top of my list in order to go get, but it's something that if you don't have it, you definitely want to check that off to have on your roster for the future. All right, next up we got Politoed. I'm going to go ahead and put this up here. I think it's very strong. I think people don't use it as much just because of how metas shape up, but Politoed has really strong moves, and overall just It's strong. Like there's nothing else to say other than it is strong. It is spammy. Mudshot and Weather Ball is an absolute nightmare. If you guys think Counter and Body Slam is bad for Body Slam spam, Mudshot and Weather Ball is worse. So let's just be real honest there. And a Politoed is super spicy in Ultra League. Again, Premier Cups. It used to be a thing. Politoed used to be a thing for those Premier Cups, but now it's not. So this is more centered towards Great League. But ultimately, it's one of those Pokemon you want to have because it could rise up to be very good with a meta shift one day. Ampharos. This is going to be another strong one. I'm not going to classify this as top meta because that would be giving too much credit to 2-0 Butters. Hey, I love the Pokemon, Butters. I love it. But Ampharos is spicy. It's spicy. In Ultra League, I think it's very strong. It's even got the Ultra League color layout there. It's got a good moveset. You could run with a lot of different variety here, right? You got Brutal Swing, Thunder Punch, Zap Cannon, Focus Blast, Dragon Pulse being the Community Day move. So depending, you pick your boom there, depending on your team and the coverage that you're looking to get. But this is going to be something that's good in Ultra League, and in Great League, it's been tough for it to shine, but it has its potential. So I'll give it a good strong. All right, next up we got the Slowbro Slowking family, and I'm just going to go ahead and classify all of these. Let's see. We're going to classify these three as it can work, and we're going to classify this one as strong. So the three of these, so we got Slowbro, Slowking, Galarian, Slowking, and Slowbro. These two haven't really been strong. I mean, Slowbro can work in some specialty cups. It is always, I think Love Cup is really where it likes to shine, the most. The other two have been all right. I think some people might hate on me with the not loving the Galarian Slowking as much. It does have a good moveset. All of them have Surf now. But I think the Galarian Slowbro is just a bit stronger for specialty cups in the Great League because of Poison Jab as the fast move, and then having Surf. Whereas Hex, you're more relying on the energy gain from that instead of the fast move, the better like fast move and energy gain pressure. So that's where we're going to lay those out. If you can only get one of these, I would highly suggest the Galarian Slowbro. And then from there, kind of work your way down. Actually, we'll go it this way. This guy's the last. Let's be honest. This guy's the last. We'll put him down here. Actually, we'll put, oh, dang. Hold on, I messed these up. We'll do it like that. We'll do it like that. Sorry, this tier list matters based on the order as well. But yeah, that's basically where I would lie the slow family. Galarian Slowbro is the one you want to get first. All right, Poliwrath. This is meta. This is actually better than Greninja meta. It's got a lot of updates recently. It got access to it has access to Mudshot and Counter, and then it got access to Scald, and then Scald got an update. And then it got access to Icy Wind. So this is a Pokemon that went from everyone liked it and it was spicy and fun to the top players in play Pokemon run this thing as Shadow in the Great League. It is just oppressive. Scald and Icy Wind is a busted combination when you pair it with Counter or with Mudshot, depending. It's good. It's top meta in Great League and it's top meta in Ultra League. If you do not have a Poliwrath, you need to get one. Out of this whole list, this is the #1 recommendation I would have for you right now. And obviously this could change. They could nerf it next season, just like they did with Steelix and Breaking Swipe, right? But for right now, for this community day in December 2023, Poliwrath is your #1 Pokemon that you need to be getting. All right, next up we have Alolan Golem. We're going to put this one kind of down here. It's a specialty cup player for the Great League and Ultra League. It can work. Open leagues don't even attempt to use this guy. His beard is fabulous, but don't attempt to use it. In specialty cups, though, it could potentially shine and has potentially shined in the past, along with Alolan Graveler. I think Alolan Graveler would go up just a bit because of its moveset, but Alolan Golem, strong as well. So if you're missing the pre-evolution, that'd be a great time to get that. We also have Alolan Sandslash now. This, I would say, oh, this is a tough one. Bottom tier of the meta or top tier of strong? I'm going to say bottom tier of meta, and this is going to be the Shadow variant. So unfortunately, I don't think you can get it right now. I could be completely wrong. I haven't done Rocket Stops in a little while, but Alolan Sandslash regardless is very strong, so if you're missing some candy, that's going to be good. But it's the Shadow variant that is very strong in the Great League and Ultra League. And the reason why, if you're wondering, like, why is Shadow better than normal? Well, Alolan Sandslash is a dual type that has common weaknesses, so like Fire and Fighting, right? It's extremely weak to those. And Fire and Fighting, as long as it is not aligned to those Pokemon, it can do pretty well. So what you want to do is leverage the damage that it can output by adding that extra 20% in order to be a bigger threat to your opponent, because you're not taking hard fast move damage, because you're not getting hit with counter and you're not getting hit with incinerate. Now obviously you can, that will happen, your Pokemon will run into that, but as you build your team, you want to try to land it or align it to Pokemon where it's not against that, which is why you add on that 20%, because if you're getting hit with Mud Shot, if you're getting hit with Spark, you're getting hit with, I don't know, Psycho Cut, you're not going to lose that much. Even Mud Shot is super effective. You're not going to lose that much health compared to an Incinerate or a counter. So you'll sacrifice the added 20% damage taken from fast moves and charge moves and whatnot in order to hit a lot harder. But Alolan Sandslash, I would say, is meta. Unfortunately, Kanto Sandslash is going to be down here with It Can Work. We would love to see, Trainer Tips would love to see this Pokemon be top of the meta, but it needs more updates. But the reason why I say it can work is it also has access to Night Slash. So this is going to be one of those Pokemon where a Specialty Cup comes up, all of a sudden Kanto Sandslash is strong. You never know. And it has a decent moveset where it can work. Alright, Blastoise. We're going to put this up here next to Tyranitar. We're going to put it above Tyranitar because it's still strong. Water Gun, Ice Beam, Hydro Cannon, Skull Bash. It's definitely spicy and fun. We don't really see it in the Great League, but I've seen it in the Ultra League a fair bit because of its moveset, especially in the Premier Cups back in the day. Ice Beam is still good coverage. Great League, it could still work. It's a bulkier water type, but it definitely needs a better fast move. I think Water Gun is good, but it's not great. So it could do with a better fast move, but ultimately it can work. And finally, Charizard is going to go up here. We're going to put this right after Poliwrath. I think Charizard is one of the staples for this. For the meta in both the Great League and Ultra League. Now you want a different moveset than what Community Day is going to give you, because Community Day, I believe, is going to give you Dragon Breath and Blast Burn. You want Wing Attack as the fast move. You want Blast Burn as the charge move, and also Dragon Claw as the charge move. Wing Attack has different coverage, so you can get fighters. Most commonly is going to be that added pickup instead of Fire Spin, Dragon Breath and Fire Spin, and it's going to be Legacy as well, so you're going to have to use an Elite Fast TM in order to get that, and it's worth it if you guys get a good PvPIV Charizard for Ultra League and Great League. Using an Elite Fast TM on that and make sure it has Wing Attack, it's definitely worth it. 100% worth that Elite Fast TM. Not a lot of Pokemon are, but Charizard is, and it's, again, Wing Attack is not a Community Day move, so you have to use a TM in order to get it. But this is the tier list. I feel like I'm missing one. Hold on. All right, there it is, Vikavolt. It's meh, honestly. This is one of those weird ones where Vikavolt is the worst option if you're going to run this family, you want Charge-a-Bug. Charge-a-Bug is up here at meta. So in terms of like you catching Pokemon for this community day, Charge-a-Bug up here. Actually, Charge-a-Bug I would say is right here. So that Charge-a-Bug is the second evolution. So stop, if you get a good PvP IV for Charge-a-Bug, stop it and power it up for Great League and use that. It's a very top performer right now in play Pokemon tournaments, and I think it's going to catch up and open Great League, but it's very strong. Now, Vikavolt itself, the third evolution, is bad. It's definitely meh. So take that with a grain of salt. Don't go into this trying to get a Vikavolt thinking it's good. Get Charge-a-Bug. Stop it at Charge-a-Bug for now. If you have excess candy and whatnot, evolve the Vikavolt and just hold it for later because an update could make it meta, right? But Charge-a-Bug is definitely going to be up here. So I'll leave that for you to go. It's going to go right there in terms of priority, right? Yeah, you guys can see what I'm doing. Yeah, there in terms of priority. Poliwrath, Charizard, Charge-a-Bug, Greninja, Alolan, Sandslash. Those should be your top 5 right there. But overall, this is the December Community Day. These are the Pokemon you guys will have access to, whether it's catching or evolving, depending on the whole event shakeup, right? So take it all with a grain of salt, but this should be your priority list based off of what you don't have, and then add it to that for Go Battle League. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know if you guys want me to do this more. I think at least every year for December would be all right, because this is a good shakeup to talk about where the meta's at this year, what Pokemon are strong. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and like always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.